Good afternoon, friends. Usually I'm saying good morning, but this morning I went over an art activity for us to use our hands and our fingers and our wrists and our scissors and our glue, and we reviewed colors. So we are going to have our circle time in the afternoon today. And behind me I have our weather chart and our weather graph. And I'm going to switch up our morning song a little bit to good afternoon, friends, since it's 1:31 in the afternoon. So I'm going to say good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, friends. We're happy you are here. Good afternoon, teachers. Good afternoon, teachers. Good afternoon, teachers. We're happy you are here. Good afternoon, room 11. Good afternoon, mom and dad. Good afternoon, family and friends. We're happy you are here. And today it is a little bit colder outside than it has been. We've been having some really warm days up in the 70s or above. Today was a little bit chillier and it's not quite as sunny outside today. So we had 2 sunny days. We had one cloudy day and one rainy day. I don't see any rain outside today, but it is a little bit cloudier outside today. So I'm going to look. I don't see any foggy weather out there. And it's definitely not raining outside. It's a little bit windy, but no snow. It is not storming outside. Today is a cloudy day, and that's okay. Today's a day where you might want to dress up a little bit warmer. You might want to wear a hat and a jacket to keep yourself warm. Um, I wanted to also talk about some clothes that we might wear. But before we do that, let's take a look. And so far we have 2 sunny days. And now we have one more cloudy day. So we have an equal amount of sunny and cloudy. And we only had one rainy day. So that's pretty lucky. We have 2 sunny, 2 cloudy, and 1 rainy. I also want to look and count to see how many days we have counted so far. So let's count our purple blocks and see how many days we have met and talked about the weather so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Now, we're not going to see each other for a couple of days because we don't have any school on Friday and we don't have any school on Monday. So today is the last day that we will talk for a little while. So I wanted to let everyone know to have a good weekend. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can keep our bodies safe and healthy whenever the weather is starting to change. We've had a lot of really warm days where you could wear either shorts or you could wear short sleeves, which I do have on today. But I did this morning, I brought myself a sweatshirt. It's important to always be prepared for weather. So if you're going to be outside, you want to make sure that you have a jacket or a sweatshirt and something to protect you from the weather. So if it's a rainy day, what are some things we can use on a rainy day to protect our bodies? Yes, you could wear a raincoat. What is that cool thing that we love to play with sometimes whenever I know at home when I was little, I always used to like to play with it, but we're told not to take it inside. It kind of has like a half circle and it has a handle and sometimes it has some stripes or decorations on it and it protects us from the rain. What is that called? Yes, it's an umbrella. And you might wear rain boots with your umbrella. Sometimes they have a little loop on them to help you get them on your feet. We want to make sure that we have an umbrella or a rain jacket that is waterproof so that your clothing underneath of it doesn't get too wet and sticky. And going into the cooler months here, we're in November. So in the month of November and December, our weather sort of switches over from our seasons and weather switches from fall, which is cool and windy, to maybe some snowy days. What are some things that we can use to protect ourselves in the snow? Yes, boots. My little friend here has boots. What else is this friend wearing? A warm jacket and a hat. What is this thing that this friend is wearing around their neck? What's that called? Yes, it's a scarf. So you want to make sure you have these things ready. And this friend here isn't wearing them, but it's also always good at this time of year to keep a pair of mittens or gloves to protect your hands. You can always keep those in your pocket. You don't have to wear them, but it's good to have them in case. And I forgot to show you, here's a picture of my rainy friend. Now your rain boots and your hat and your jacket might not be yellow, but it's important to make sure that you wear something on your feet that will not let the water into your socks and onto your feet, because we want to make sure we keep our feet warm. Now, it is important though that we still get fresh air. So I wanted to talk about a couple things that we can do outside to be safe, but also give our body the fresh air that it needs, especially with COVID right now. It's important that we get some fresh air outside, at least a little bit each day when possible and when safe. And what are some activities that you might be able to do in the rain? Did you ever splash in a puddle before? Yes, you always have to make sure you ask mom or dad, because we don't want to splash in a puddle when we're just going to the store or when you're going somewhere that you don't want to have wet clothes. If you're playing in the rain, you want to make sure that mom or dad are prepared and have a towel for you, an extra set of warm clothes, and some boots to keep your feet dry. What are some things that we can do to enjoy and get exercise in the snow? What are some activities you can do or play with in the snow? You can make snowman. You can make snowbirds or snow angels where you move your hands up and down. What else? You could go on a walk, see what you can see that has clues to winter coming. You can sled ride, or maybe even you might even be able to go like snow tubing or skiing with an adult, different things like that. So on these nice days where we've had this week where you're able to go out and play, I wanted to show you some things too that we can use to play with. And I know that all of you received in your take-home packet, you received a ball. So I wanted to sort of show you some things we can do with our ball. And I want you to get out as much as possible. Now, the cool thing about a ball is there are so many different things that you can do inside and outside. We want to be really careful when we're inside with a ball and make sure you ask permission. When we're inside, it's best not to throw a ball, but you can roll the ball on the floor back and forth. You can sit with somebody, roll the ball. You could even, I'm going to try to turn my computer a little bit so you can see my ball. You can roll it. You could use cups, like plastic cups or old plastic water bottles, and you could use your ball and knock the bottles over like a bowl. You can make your own bowling set. You could toss, which throwing is throwing. That's when you really throw a ball either overhand or underhand. But whenever you toss it, you just sort of toss it lightly like this. You can toss it into a basket, into a box. You can toss it onto like a chair or something. And another thing, I wanted to focus a little bit on outside things that you can do with it. You can play bounce and catch. So whenever you bounce it and catch it, can see how many times you can do that before you drop it. You can see how many times you can bounce and catch. So we're going to practice bounce and catch today because it's part of our lesson plan as well. And the better you get at it, the further you can bounce your ball. Now that time it came towards me, so I'm going to see how many times I can bounce the ball without dropping it. And if you drop it, it's okay. You just start over again. If you don't get it right the first time, or if you drop it, no big deal. Just pick it up and try again. So we're going to bounce, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I dropped it that time. I got 8 times. What you can also do is set a timer and see how many times you can bounce it and catch it from a further distance. So I'm going to back up a little bit and bounce it on the floor and catch it. That makes it a little bit trickier, and the harder you bounce it, the further it goes. So I'm going to see how many times I can bounce the ball in 1 minute. I'm going to set my timer and I'm going to start and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh, I lost it that time. I got it 11 times, but I'm still bouncing. I caught it again. 12. Oh, there it goes. So sometimes the further you bounce it, you want to try to bounce and catch so that you can control the ball, make sure that it doesn't get away from you. Another thing that you can do is if you have some kind of a hula hoop or a hoop at home, or even you can have a friend very carefully hold their arms like this, and you can try to toss it through or toss it up in the air. You can even toss it and catch it to yourself and sort of make your own basketball hoop. You can also toss it from hand to hand and see how many times that you can catch it. Remember, if you throw it really hard and you're not able to catch it, then you'll have to go chasing it down. So you want to try to keep it. You can toss it up and catch. Remember, the higher you go, the harder it is to catch it. And you want to try to catch it with 2 hands. You can even try to dribble it like a basketball, which means you push it down on the ground, but you only use 1 hand. A little bit trickier to do this. You might want to start low on the ground or on a low surface. And then as you get better at it, sometimes you might have to guide it back with the other hand, but whenever you dribble it, you just use 1 hand, and then you can switch hands like a basketball player does. It's a little bit trickier for me to use my left hand because I'm right-handed, which means I write with my right hand. And so it's a little bit harder for me. And you can even go 1 and then 2, and then 1 and then 2. However you can think. You can also pretend that your ball is something else. You can pretend it's an egg and you're trying to keep it off the ground. That's something you can also use a balloon for if you have a safe balloon at home. You can use your balloon to play keep up or keep tossing back and forth to a friend. I'm here by myself right now, but if I had a friend, I could see how many times I could toss the ball back and forth to my friend before you drop it. And then there's one of my old favorite games from when I was a child. If you happen to have 3 people at home, you can use 2 friends on either end, and then you can have a friend in the middle. And that friend in the middle is named the monkey. And you can play a game called Monkey in the Middle, where you try to throw your ball over the head of the monkey. And you try to throw it to your partner. And if the monkey catches it, then that friend has to go in the middle, and that friend has to be the monkey. So send Miss Hilary some pictures of all the different ways. Maybe you can think of a different way to use your ball other than what I talked about. We bounced and caught it. We tossed it. We rolled it. Maybe you can think of a different way to use your ball. So let me know. Send me a picture, and I will see all of you next week. And next week, we will have more fun and we will learn new things. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Get outside and play. and make sure that you're always wearing something appropriate. You always have a jacket if it's chilly. You always have an umbrella if it's raining. And I'll see you next time, friends. Bye.